I heard there was rumors, people talking that you guys don't want a rehydration clause in the event if the fight does happen. Do you guys not want one?
Give a damn about that. It only gets so big, it get too big, then that's on him.
Yeah, people want to see that fight, and maybe they see that fight. We don't know yet, right? But maybe they see that fight, and I'm always open to good fights,
Terence Crawford has ignited a storm of excitement in the boxing community by directly challenging Canelo Alvarez over his request for a rehydration clause in their proposed showdown. This clause, frequently debated in the sport, restricts how much weight a fighter can regain after weigh-in, and Crawford has made it clear he's not pleased with the idea. Stirring even more intrigue, Bernie Davis, a crucial member of Team Crawford, recently disclosed during an interview that the long-anticipated bout is tentatively locked in for September 13th. While no official confirmation has been made, Bernie's remarks have sparked a wave of speculation and enthusiasm among fans and analysts. According to him, Crawford is prepared to make a daring move up to 168 pounds to take on Canelo for his trio of super middleweight titles. This step would mark a huge leap for Crawford, who has already demonstrated mastery in several lighter divisions and now aims to solidify his legacy by facing one of boxing's premier names. As more information comes to light, the sport's followers are abuzz with anticipation, eager to see if this super fight will officially materialize. Should it go down, it promises to be a spectacular clash of styles, with both champions bringing their unique strengths into what could become one of the most unforgettable showdowns in boxing history.
To 168, I wouldn't have to lose any weight. I wouldn't have to strain my body. I can just focus on getting stronger and getting sharper and just work on the things that I need to work on to fight a guy of that size.
You're on an 11-fight knockout streak. Is it important to you to continue that, or you just kind of take this fight as it happens?
I just take the fights how it happens. If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The boxing world has been swirling with anticipation for weeks over the possibility of a blockbuster fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, with speculation placing the event in September. Now, for the first time, a figure from within the camps has hinted that the rumors may hold weight. Bernie Davis, an influential voice from Team Crawford, addressed the ongoing chatter in an interview, stating that the fight is scheduled for September 13th, despite no official announcement yet. His words have only fueled the buzz. Crawford, who's already made history across several weight divisions, is now willing to jump to 168 pounds to challenge Canelo for his super middleweight crown. This bold move has stirred both excitement and concern in the boxing world, sparking debates about whether such a leap is strategic or reckless. While many admire Crawford's ambition, others question whether he can endure the physical challenge of facing an elite fighter at a heavier weight. Despite this division in opinion, the anticipated fight continues to dominate headlines. Fans are also voicing concerns about whether Crawford, who's never competed at 168, should first gain experience in that division before challenging someone of Canelo's caliber. Critics argue that jumping straight into such a high-risk contest without prior bouts at super middleweight might be dangerous. However, Bernie Davis brushed off the skepticism, bluntly responding, "Why?" He backed his confidence by citing Crawford's extraordinary resume, being an undisputed champion in 2 divisions, a unified titleist in 3, and a world champion in 4. According to Bernie, those achievements are proof enough of Crawford's adaptability and greatness, regardless of weight. Still, not everyone is convinced. Critics have countered by pointing out that while Crawford's record is impressive, many of his opponents were considered beatable, casting doubt on how prepared he truly is for a dominant figure like Canelo, who's thrived at super middleweight. The debate continues to stir excitement and division as the boxing community awaits what could be one of the sport's most high-stakes announcements. It's on, baby! September 13th, get ready, Crawford vs. Canelo. Yes, it's confirmed. Crawford vs. Canelo, not the other way around, declared Bernie Davis in a high-energy interview with Fight Hype, sending shockwaves across the boxing scene. His declaration has only intensified the hype surrounding this potential mega-fight. Taking things even further, Bernie took to social media to amplify the anticipation, proudly declaring Terence Crawford as the pound-for-pound best in the sport. He confidently predicted that Crawford's path to becoming super middleweight champion was inevitable. With this kind of conviction from Team Crawford, fans are holding their breath, awaiting the official word, and hoping to witness Crawford's attempt to seize the crown and dethrone Canelo Alvarez. Still, not everyone in the boxing world shares the optimism. Skeptics have questioned several aspects of Crawford's chances: his age, his lack of proven knockout power at higher weights, and most importantly, his lack of any experience at 168 pounds. These doubts have caused some to view him as an underdog. Nevertheless, his supporters continue to argue that Crawford's technical brilliance and undefeated record make him a serious threat. Some even go so far as to compare his dominance to that of rising star David Benavidez. Yet, a closer look at Crawford's 17-year career brings up questions about the true level of competition he's faced. Much of his dominance came against fighters who weren't necessarily the top tier in their divisions. One recent example raising eyebrows was his 2024 bout at 154 pounds against Israil Madrimov. Expectations for a statement performance were sky-high, but the match turned out far more competitive than expected, with judges scoring at 115 to 112, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113 in Crawford's favor. Although he walked away with the win, it was anything but a dominant showing, leaving some fans wondering how he'll cope with the intensity and power of someone like Canelo at 168. At the center of the heated debate surrounding this potential bout is the rehydration clause, a rule that limits how much weight a boxer can put on after weigh-in. The clause has generated plenty of controversy, particularly because of the sizable natural weight gap between Crawford and Canelo. Crawford, having fought in much smaller divisions, would naturally be at a size and strength disadvantage. However, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, is unfazed. In a conversation with Ricky Ferlotti of Ring Magazine, Bomac brushed off concerns about the clause entirely. "I don't care how much weight an opponent gains after the weigh-in. If they go too far and get sluggish, that's their problem, not ours," he declared. His words made it clear that Team Crawford isn't worried about any perceived size advantage Canelo may have. Bomac emphasized that Crawford is fully equipped to deal with whatever challenge comes his way, regardless of weight disparities, further elevating the buzz around what could become one of 2025's most unforgettable showdowns. As rumors continue to swirl, the boxing world is holding its collective breath, eagerly anticipating whether this historic matchup will officially be confirmed. The big question: can Terence Crawford's elite skills, quickness, and adaptability overcome the power and championship experience of Mexico's reigning star, Canelo Alvarez? With fans and pundits split down the middle, anticipation is reaching its peak, and the clock is ticking toward what may be a seismic moment in modern boxing.
So do you like Terence? You like Terence's chances even without a
I love Terence's chances. When it first came out of his mouth, he said he wanted to fight me.
And yeah, you guys have zero issues with.
I have no issues.
No issues.
Terence ain't got an issue with I.
During a follow-up exchange, the interviewer pushed harder, asking Brian "Bomac" McIntyre if he still had full confidence in Terence Crawford's ability to win even without a rehydration clause. Without hesitation, Bomac replied with absolute certainty, making it clear that Crawford's success doesn't hinge on weight limits. His confidence left no room for doubt. Crawford's skills, not the scale, will determine the outcome. The interviewer, Ricky Ferlotti, noted that historically, fighters going up against naturally bigger opponents often insisted on rehydration clauses to protect themselves. These clauses, he pointed out, are commonly seen as a safety net, a way to level the playing field and prevent any unfair size advantage after weigh-ins. Ferlotti's remark reflected an industry-wide practice where fighters try to control the amount of weight their opponents regain post-weigh-in to avoid being outmatched in the ring. But Bomac wasn't having it. He flat-out rejected the idea of a rehydration clause, calling the whole concept completely ridiculous. He didn't mince words, lambasting the idea of limiting how much weight a fighter can put back on after the weigh-in. In his view, such restrictions have no place in the sport. Once the official weight is recorded, Bomac argued, it should be up to each fighter to manage their conditioning however they see fit. According to him, true professionals know how to deal with the natural changes in weight. He strongly believes that fights should be won through skill, not through artificial boundaries. This stance reinforced the unwavering belief that Team Crawford has in their fighter, especially in the face of a formidable challenge like Canelo Alvarez. For McIntyre, it's all about showing up, making weight, and then fighting without any extra clauses or caveats. He stressed that both fighters have already agreed to face each other.
And with that agreement, there's no need to haggle over weight-related add-ons.
They should just fight, he declared, emphasizing that boxing is about raw competition, not negotiated safety nets.
Bomac's words underlined his solid belief in Crawford's ability to perform under any condition.
He's convinced that Crawford's technical skills, composure, and boxing IQ are more than enough to outmatch any opponent, even someone with a size advantage. According to McIntyre, the hallmark of a great fighter is adaptability, and Crawford embodies that. His statements left no doubt that for Team Crawford, this fight will be a battle of champions, not bodies, and that greatness will be decided by skill in the ring, not by any clause on paper.
Because, in the past, most guys, when they're fighting bigger guys like that, that's going to be the first thing that they want.
That's some pussy shit. That's some weak shit. Oh, you can't come in this much and shit. Oh, man, get the fuck out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale, I made the weight, regardless when I come back, ass. Hey, you accepted the fight, let's get in there and fight like men. Simple as that.
Appreciate you, Bomac. Thanks for the time, man.
The widespread confusion surrounding the concept of a rehydration clause likely stems from the high-profile fight between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, a bout that brought the term into mainstream boxing discourse. During that matchup, the clause became a major topic among both hardcore boxing followers and casual viewers, as it was positioned as a safeguard to ensure a more balanced contest between fighters of varying sizes. Following the Garcia-Davis showdown, the idea of rehydration clauses began to take on a more prominent role in pre-fight negotiations, rapidly becoming a point of contention in subsequent matchups. As its visibility increased, so too did misunderstandings about its purpose, function, and implications, leading to conflicting interpretations and heated debates. Because of this, it has become increasingly important to demystify what rehydration clauses actually do and to clearly articulate their role in boxing. Accurate information and consistent communication are essential to prevent further confusion among fans and to avoid misjudgments rooted in unclear assumptions. Given the impact such clauses can have on fight outcomes, ensuring that fighters, promoters, and audiences understand their significance is vital. Transparency on this issue will preserve trust in the sport and help set clear expectations as blockbuster events like a possible Crawford vs. Canelo clash draw nearer. To help clarify the current picture, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn recently weighed in on the status of the potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. He acknowledged that while discussions have been taking place behind the scenes, no formal contracts have yet been signed. So despite the massive public excitement surrounding the potential fight, nothing has been finalized as of now. However, Hearn did indicate that there's a strong possibility this bout could be staged over the Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, a fitting and symbolic date that would provide the perfect stage for what may become one of the most monumental fights in recent boxing memory. If the necessary arrangements fall into place, September may host one of the sport's most captivating and consequential matchups of the year. As Crawford has repeatedly affirmed, the contest would occur at the 168-pound mark, a division where Canelo has been nothing short of dominant. According to a source from ESPN's boxing team, there is reportedly no rehydration clause being included in the contract, meaning both fighters would be able to weigh in freely without any additional weight restrictions following the official scale-in. This element has been confirmed by representatives from both camps and is now considered a critical component in the build-up to this historic bout. Should the fight come to fruition, it will not only display the mastery of two elite boxers but will also serve as a defining moment in boxing's modern era. The event is shaping up to be more than just a matchup, it could redefine legacy and hierarchy at the top of the sport. For boxing enthusiasts, the Crawford vs. Canelo potential showdown feels like a dream bout, offering a rare chance to watch two of the sport's top pound-for-pound fighters collide in a battle that carries enormous implications. The stakes are enormous, as this match may ultimately decide who deserves the prestigious pound-for-pound king title, a distinction that's been fiercely debated among boxing's elite athletes. Terence Crawford, known for his dominance across multiple weight classes, is aiming to make a dramatic move from light middleweight to super middleweight, a transition that introduces new obstacles and uncertainties. This bold leap will not only require him to face a physically bigger and more powerful adversary but also demand significant adjustments to his style to handle a new weight range.
The challenge has intrigued the boxing community, with many wondering how Crawford's unique skill set will translate against a heavier, more imposing opponent. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez, the long-reigning super middleweight champion, remains one of the sport's most respected and feared fighters, renowned for his ability to dictate tempo and punish opponents with tactical precision and strength. Taking on Crawford would not only test Canelo's prowess against an undefeated opponent but also allow him to reinforce his reputation as one of boxing's all-time greats. The prospect of this bout has created an unparalleled level of excitement heading into 2025. Fans across the globe are waiting anxiously, with expectations high for what is sure to be an action-packed contest between two elite fighters who are both fighting for more than just a win, they're fighting for legacy. As both men chase greatness, the anticipation is only intensifying, with each new development feeding the global appetite for what could be the sport's defining showdown. The result could reshape the entire boxing landscape, crowning one man as the undeniable pound-for-pound ruler of the sport. Speaking in a revealing interview with IFL TV, Eddie Hearn acknowledged just how tall the order is for Terence Crawford as he prepares for the possibility of facing Canelo Alvarez. Hearn didn't mince words, highlighting the physical imbalance between the two fighters, stating, "It's a massive spectacle. Crawford's coming up really 3 weight classes. He's physically disadvantaged in the fight, but he's a brilliant pound-for-pound fighter. It's 2 generational greats fighting each other." Hearn's statement emphasized the magnitude of what's at stake, as 2 of the most accomplished boxers of the modern era prepare to lock horns. One of the most heated topics in the build-up to the fight has been the rehydration clause, or rather, the lack thereof. According to Hearn, any insistence on such a clause would have killed the deal entirely. When asked why Crawford wasn't requesting a rehydration clause for the fight, Hearn answered bluntly, Canelo would never do it. This single issue has sparked countless debates due to the significant weight disparity between the fighters. For Crawford, who has spent most of his career at welterweight, making the jump to super middleweight raises serious questions about whether he can match Canelo in size, endurance, and strength. However, Crawford has always been a fighter who thrives on challenges. His entire boxing philosophy is built on the idea of pushing past limits, embracing adversity, and rising through the ranks no matter the circumstances. Whether it's putting on muscle for a heavier weight class or collecting titles across 4 divisions, Crawford has consistently demonstrated a willingness to break new ground in the sport. His current unbeaten record of 41-0 stands as a testament to that mindset, one that now drives him toward what could become the most iconic fight of his career, a clash with fellow 4-division world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Interest in the fight spiked even more after Crawford made an appearance at the weigh-in for his training partner Steven Nelson's headline fight against Diego Pacheco, who happens to be Canelo's top-ranked WBO contender. In a sit-down with boxing scene at the Cosmopolitan, Crawford reflected on what lies ahead, stating, "That's what great fighters are all about, testing yourself against all the odds." His comment perfectly captures the spirit that's defined his rise in boxing. Now, as he readies himself for one of the sport's ultimate trials, Crawford's undefeated streak and elite reputation are on the line. The excitement surrounding this fight is reaching a fever pitch. Crawford, fresh off a reign as undisputed welterweight king, is now preparing to clash with Canelo Alvarez, who has long ruled the super middleweight division with dominance. This bout has the makings of a legacy-defining moment, one that could crown the true pound-for-pound best in the world. With both men equipped with elite talent, proven experience, and insatiable hunger for greatness, only one will leave the ring as the superior champion. The global boxing community is holding its breath as they await confirmation for what could become one of the most memorable and impactful fights in the history of the sport.
Take the fights how it happens. If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Saudi boxing influencer Turki Alalshik has rapidly emerged as a dominant force in the sport, thanks to his strategic investments and unwavering dedication. His admiration for Terence Crawford is no secret, and he's now playing a critical role in elevating Crawford's profile on the global stage.
Alshik has gone the extra mile to ensure that Crawford is the centerpiece of his first ever US boxing event set for August, an event that's already being hailed as one of the year's most anticipated showdowns. While past tensions have existed between Alshik and Canelo Alvarez, he has been working relentlessly behind closed doors to bridge that gap and steer the long-awaited Crawford-Canelo fight closer to reality. His behind-the-scenes efforts showcase a broader vision, to not only deliver blockbuster fights but to reshape the entire boxing landscape through innovation and investment. Crawford, long considered one of the sport's elite, has publicly expressed deep appreciation for Alshik's impact, especially his financial backing of the sport's biggest matchups. "I'm definitely grateful for what Turkey has done in boxing," Crawford stated. "He's making all the biggest fights happen, fan-friendly fights that everyone wants to see. He's a big fan himself, and he's putting so much into making these fights possible by backing them financially. I'm very happy with how things are headed and excited about where everything is going." These words highlight just how influential Alshik has become, especially in turning dream matchups into real, headline-grabbing events that fans around the world crave. However, the road to a Canelo vs. Crawford clash has been far from straightforward. In 2023, Canelo Alvarez stirred controversy with a sharp critique of Crawford, remarking, "If you see his record, he's only beaten one good fighter." The comment didn't sit well with many, especially Crawford's supporters, who viewed it as a blatant dismissal of an otherwise stellar career. Tensions escalated when Canelo openly stated he had no intention of fighting Crawford, igniting a firestorm of speculation and backlash within the boxing community. Now, nearly a year and a half later, renewed discussions between both camps have breathed new life into the potential super fight, with past remarks resurfacing to fuel the growing rivalry. Recently, a clip from that original 2023 interview re-emerged online, prompting Crawford's sister, Letitia Crawford, to respond sharply on X, formerly Twitter. Without holding back, she fired off a pointed jab at Canelo's dismissive tone, writing, "They all sing the same song." Despite this flashpoint, Canelo has since dialed back his stance, offering a more measured and open tone regarding a potential bout. While not fully committed, he acknowledged that fans across the world are clamoring for the fight, and he didn't rule it out. In a conversation with Mike Coppinger of The Ring magazine, Canelo addressed the mounting speculation. Coppinger pointed out that if Crawford were to lose, critics might chalk it up to the obvious weight disparity. But Canelo appeared unfazed, suggesting such arguments would only add more layers to the narrative and spectacle. Acknowledging the public's hunger for the clash, he coyly teased, "Fans maybe would get to see it. We might witness that battle. Perhaps. We don't know yet." Though still non-committal, his remarks signaled a shift. Canelo is no longer outright rejecting the idea, leaving the door ajar for what could be a historic confrontation. As boxing fans worldwide hold their breath, anticipation continues to mount for a battle between these two generational giants. With both men operating at the height of their powers, the stakes could not be higher. Should the fight be made official, it promises to be one of the most explosive and defining moments in the sport's recent memory. Skill, power, legacy all will collide if Crawford and Canelo finally meet in the ring. For now, the world watches and waits, knowing that if this matchup materializes, it will be nothing short of legendary.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He's really good abilities and everything. And maybe we will see that fight. Maybe. We don't know yet.
Canelo, look, something you said to me a while ago really resonated. You said basically, if somebody's going to disrespect me, I don't want to punish them in the ring and beat them up and say, hey, here's, all this money, because everyone always makes their career high payday facing you, right?
Canelo Alvarez, the 6'2" unified super middleweight champion, recently opened up about why he prefers a fight with Terence Crawford over David Benavidez, offering candid insight into his reasoning. In a frank discussion, Canelo revealed that he turned down Benavidez's challenge due to what he viewed as a lack of respect from both Benavidez and his father. From Canelo's perspective, agreeing to a bout under such conditions would effectively grant Benavidez the biggest payday of his career, regardless of whether he won or lost. He stated that this wasn't a reward he was willing to offer, especially given the manner in which Benavidez had approached him. Canelo elaborated further, saying that at this point in his storied career, he's open to fighting any elite champion in the sport. However, he made clear his frustration with the way certain fighters attempt to secure a fight, particularly when their approach lacks the professional respect he believes is warranted. He emphasized that calling him out doesn't automatically entitle a challenger to a massive financial opportunity. Reasserting his status in the sport, he stated, "I'm in a position where I can make my own decisions." Canelo underscored that he didn't appreciate the tone or tactics used by Benavidez in seeking a fight, considering them disrespectful and undeserving of the payday that would come with facing him. Still, despite this tension and perceived lack of courtesy, Canelo hasn't completely shut the door on a future matchup with Benavidez. "Like I say, you never know. Maybe someday I wake up and say, I want to fight that guy," he admitted. But for now, that bout seems improbable, especially since Benavidez is focused on an upcoming marquee fight against David Morrell and is currently committed to staying at 175 pounds. In the meantime, fans continue to eagerly anticipate a potential deal between Canelo and Crawford, a fight that could bring a massive showdown to the sport later this year. While some of Canelo's past remarks have stirred controversy, he appears unbothered by the public reaction. He has continued to emphasize his desire to face the best fighters in the world, while enjoying the autonomy to choose his opponents without pressure. This attitude has sparked a mix of praise and criticism among boxing enthusiasts and analysts. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, negotiations between Canelo and Crawford are reportedly progressing behind closed doors, with optimism growing that the matchup may soon be confirmed. Bob Arum, the legendary promoter who played a key role in Crawford's early rise before their 2021 split, also weighed in on the bout, suggesting that Crawford possesses a skill set that could pose serious problems for Canelo. Arum pointed out Crawford's ability to switch stances seamlessly as a weapon that could disrupt Canelo's rhythm. Even though Crawford would be moving up 2 weight divisions, Arum expressed confidence in his ability to compete. "I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight," Arum told Fight Hype. "Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer-puncher and is totally ambidextrous. He drives his opponents crazy because they train to fight a right-handed fighter and end up facing a southpaw." Arum's praise highlights the intrigue surrounding this potential showdown, as many believe Crawford's adaptability could level the playing field despite the size difference. Fresh off a history-making performance, Crawford recently became a 4-division world champion by outpointing Israil Madrimov to capture the WBA super welterweight title. With that achievement, he further cemented his place among boxing's elite. Now, Crawford is ready for what may be the biggest challenge of his professional career, taking on Canelo Alvarez. However, uncertainty remains over whether Canelo will fight again on his traditional Cinco de Mayo date in May. One possible opponent being considered for that date is IBF champion William Skull. A win in that bout would not only add another title defense to Canelo's resume but could also restore his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion. As anticipation grows, the boxing world is watching closely to see whether this historic Canelo-Crawford fight will materialize. With both fighters at the peak of their powers, the proposed matchup is shaping up to be one of the most significant and electrifying clashes in recent boxing memory. Fans are counting down, and with each passing day, expectations climb higher as new developments unfold.
Likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkana know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in
here.
Camp? Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March, yeah.
As the final crescendo card of the Riyadh season nears, it's shaping up to be one of the most anticipated spectacles on the boxing calendar, headlined by 3 world championship bouts. Yet, while excitement around that event continues to grow, another potential clash is capturing just as much attention: the possibility of a blockbuster fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Buzz surrounding this matchup surged after both fighters met recently with Saudi boxing influencer His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh in London. If this fight comes to fruition, it promises to shake the boxing world and deliver a global spectacle. However, the venue remains a point of debate. While Saudi Arabia has become a major hub for boxing super events, some believe a bout of this magnitude belongs elsewhere. Eddie Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing and longtime collaborator with Alvarez, shared his reservations in an interview with DAZN News. Canelo vs. Crawford only works for me in America, Hearn stated. I'm not sure it happens in Saudi or at all, but I don't see many options for Canelo right now. Hearn's remarks underlined the uncertainty and division surrounding where this monumental event should take place. Performance-wise, both fighters have had contrasting schedules in 2024. Crawford fought once, defeating Israil Madrimov to capture a fourth world title across 4 different weight divisions. Canelo, meanwhile, extended his dominance with 2 additional victories. Reports suggest that negotiations are progressing toward a September fight for Alvarez's unified super middleweight titles. For Crawford, it means a dramatic jump up 2 weight classes from 147 to 168 pounds, but he's accepted the challenge. Intriguingly, he's not demanding a rehydration clause, adding even more tension to the narrative. The weight difference remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of the matchup. Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez confidently predicted an early finish, stating, "Canelo will knock him out in 6 rounds." Crawford is a good fighter, but there are weight classes for a reason. Chavez's view has fueled ongoing debate, with many agreeing that weight could be a decisive factor. Despite being inactive since August, Crawford isn't considering a tune-up bout before facing Alvarez. At 37, he's already cemented his legacy, but he's hungry to make history again by becoming a 5-division world champion. He remains unfazed by the size disparity, viewing it as just another challenge in a career full of them. Alvarez, one of boxing's most influential figures, still controls his own narrative, particularly when it comes to opponent selection. While a showdown with Crawford seems closer than ever, Canelo's WBC mandatory challenger David Benavidez has been pushed to the sidelines. In a recent interview with Fight Hype, Benavidez's father voiced frustration, revealing that Canelo's reported $200 million demand to fight Benavidez has stalled talks. Crawford is a great fighter, but Canelo is just too big. It wouldn't be a fair fight, he added. Both father and son remain skeptical of Crawford's threat level due to the weight gap. Benavidez himself echoed these thoughts, acknowledging Crawford's elite skill set but doubting his chances at 168. Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen, but weight classes exist for a reason. I'd give Canelo the edge, he stated. This viewpoint is shared by others in the sport, including Canelo's past opponents. Legendary heavyweight Mike Tyson also weighed in, expressing concern over Crawford's leap in size. Appearing on the It Is What It Is podcast, Tyson remarked, "I don't like that fight. Too much weight for Crawford," noting that Crawford has had difficulty against larger foes in the past. Facing someone as strong and established as Canelo, Tyson warned, could be a step too far. Former Canelo opponent Egidijus Kabeliauskas also chimed in, echoing these concerns. In a video posted by Dan the Boxing Man on X, he said, "I hope they don't make that fight. Canelo is just too big, too strong." But not all analysis leans against Crawford. Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult initially doubted Crawford's chances but has since revised his stance. Drawing parallels to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s 2013 win over a younger Canelo, he believes Crawford's superior footwork and ring IQ could expose the same weaknesses, especially Canelo's struggles when forced to fight on the back foot, which were also evident in his loss to Dimitri Bivol. As hype for the potential bout intensifies, opinions remain split. Still, one thing is clear, should Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford meet in the ring, it will be one of the defining moments in modern boxing. With each passing day, the stakes grow higher, and anticipation continues to build for what could be the biggest and most talked about fight of their respective careers.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford, thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TKO Edge for more knockout content. From fight breakdowns to real-time reactions, we've got it all right here. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and keep your guard up.